Hello and welcome back to the podcast. We are back after a long-ish weekend, it felt like, at least for me.
It did feel like a long weekend for some reason.
I don't know. Well, I had a bar crawl on Saturday, which you know about.
I do.
Flannels and Fireball. Shout out to Matt for planning.
Shout out.
Always these good old themed
I was sad I couldn't
fun
make
outings,
it.
but
it seemed cute.
Everybody literally wore flannels too.
I saw that. I was jealous. I'm ready for the fall vibes.
It was hot though.
It was really hot on Saturday.
Shockingly hot. So that was kind of not the smartest, but we still committed to the bit.
That too.
But maybe that's why it felt so long. I don't know, because that's kind of like a long day.
That is. I went to a wedding that day, so another long day.
Maybe that's why.
It could be.
But we started our weekend a little strong. Yeah, because
strongest of weekends.
We watched the Lions.
We were in it. We were there.
The Chiefs. Brittany came over to watch, and honestly, it felt like everything we have been talking about with football really came to a head because we went out of our way to make a plan to get together to watch a full football game.
I don't think we've ever done that for like anything but the Super Bowl, but it felt Super Bowl level. I mean,
we just beat
the Chiefs,
the Super Bowl champs.
At
so pretty
their home
much
field.
We won the Super Bowl.
No, that's what I was telling Brian afterwards. I was like, I could not sleep after the game. I was up for, I want to say, like 2 hours afterwards, and I was
on my
like,
couch.
Yeah, on your couch. I slept there. And I was like, we beat the Chiefs the game after they won the Super Bowl at Arrowhead Stadium. The day they got their Super Bowl rings, and now the Chiefs are losers. Like that was like how it concluded. Like, I was on such a high. I was so excited for the Lions, and I was so sad at the same time because I was supposed to be in the video moment. I was supposed to be at the game. I couldn't stop with that.
You keep saying that. So Brittany originally wanted to go to this game because she has a friend that lives in Missouri. So she was like, oh, like I almost went. And I'm like, oh, did you get tickets or something? No, never got tickets. Did you ever book your flight? No, never booked my flight. So like you weren't even like that close to going, but that was the
I posted Instagrams.
Every play that took place during the game, she was like, I was supposed to
be there. Like that. No, they were playing like Lions fans in the stands. I go, that could have been me. That was supposed to be me.
You were no closer to going than I was.
No.
But like in your mind you were.
That did hit me at one point. I was like, honestly, anybody could have gone to this game, but
you specifically.
Yes, when the schedule came out, I posted a screenshot of it and I tagged my friend that like lives in Missouri, and I was like, see you in Arrowhead.
I feel like I remember actually you posting
I
that.
was like so determined, but
it
didn't work out. It was really expensive to get there, the game, and rightfully so.
And you're only willing to do that for Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
pretty much.
She had me there. I'm traveling to see her soon.
But yeah, so I wore my Lions. It's really not a Lions beanie, but I specifically got this beanie last year for a game, and I never wore it, unfortunately.
Oh, that's sad because that's like.
But this year I will wear. I mean, I'm wearing it now.
I know we gotta go to some games. I just got some cute Lion stuff. Like, honestly, like that's what I did after the Lions won.
Dude, so I was really scared of that actually, which I
guess
was
like things selling out.
I guess we're having like our moment that everybody who's been a fan for so long has, like, not that we haven't been fans, but we're actually been fans. We're committed now.
We are like in it. Like before, I feel like we were like, go sports, yay sports. Like it's fun to go to the Lions games and we're going to support them. But now, like, I can't tell you the emotions I felt during that game.
I'm scared. No, I feel like everybody that's been feeling this way for a long time is like, okay, like you're late to the party bandwagon. But we started this really last year with we talked a lot about football last year.
Football was a main topic on this podcast. You could almost put us in the sports category, I swear.
Maybe I'll try that. Maybe I'll put us in the
swap category. Us over there.
But seriously, because let's get back to this game. So Lions beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and we knew the whole time, we were like, bitches are gonna say it's because Travis Kelce was not in the game.
But you know what? he's not the whole team. And even though he's on my fantasy team and I couldn't play him, that was sad. But if you can't win without one player, are you really that great of a team? I'm looking at you, Patrick Mahomes. I'm not really.
Well, but speaking of Travis Kelce, and I mentioned Taylor Swift, there's rumors that the two of them are dating.
And I really hope that this is true. This started back when she went to Kansas City for the Eras tour. He went.
Didn't he make her a friendship bracelet?
He did, with his phone number on it. He talked about it on his podcast. So smooth. His brother asked him about it. He was like, "Oh, you like, what number was it on there?" And he was like, "Oh, you know what number it was. His phone number, obviously, not his jersey number." So that's when the rumors started, but now there's been speculation, insiders saying that they've been quietly hanging out. And then on his podcast as of late, he mentioned his brother asked him, Jason, "Oh, what were you up to on the break or over the weekend?" I forget what it was. And Travis said something along the lines of, "Oh, I don't remember. I think I was up in New York City." And everyone's like, New York City, Taylor Swift. Could be. I hope it's true. They'd be like the top two, power couple.
Maybe if it is true, she'll distract him from the season a bit.
No. And yay and nay. He's on my fantasy team.
That's too bad. And
he's got to do good.
We'll continue to beat them.
I'm gonna have to bench him.
Well, but speaking of, so he was injured. That's obviously why he was out. He has like a bruise to the bone.
Which I did not know was possible.
Same. That's scary to learn that, because now I feel like anytime I get a bruise, I'm going to be like, it's to the bone. It's to the bone. But we have to talk about another injury that occurred, because this could be all due to the good old Kardashian curse. When they supposedly date people,
things go awry.
Their
things
careers,
go bad.
They get into some shit, and supposedly there's rumors that Kim K is dating an NFL player. People were speculating, was it Aaron Rodgers?
Which I could not see. I don't know where that specific rumor came from.
But when the Tom Brady thing happened, did we expect that?
No,
not necessarily.
That was a curve. But like, if she went from Tom Brady to Aaron Rodgers, that's nuts.
That's drama.
That's freaking drama right there.
Well, either way, it was very bad for him, because first game of the season, after 4 plays, he's injured, out for the season. And this was his first game also with his new team. So they like just cut him a fat check. We're ready for him to like take this team far.
Was ready.
And injured and out for the season. But I saw some other drama when I was like looking into this, because I was like, how many plays was it actually? Because I saw so much about it.
I saw, I think it was a tweet or something, and it said that Aaron Rodgers had 5 snaps in the game, including the snap of his whatever.
Achilles tendon.
Yep.
Yeah, it's bad. I saw so many TikToks about it. So I was like, let me look into this, like what really happened. And it's legit like an injury. Because also we were like, maybe he was like, I'll take my check and not like sit out. Because a lot of people think he's like at retiring age. Maybe he should like, you know, be out anyways. But I saw that there's actually some drama going around about this, because a lot of NFL players for years have been saying that it's the artificial turf that's causing all these injuries, and they want to play on real grass. Yeah, like real grass. And supposedly 17 out of 32 teams play on artificial turf, and the NFL will not pay for the real grass because it's like too expensive or something. But when the World Cup comes in a few weeks, they put real grass for them.
So,
and there's actually stats about this from the American Journal of Sports Medicine. In 2018, a study showed that when you play on synthetic turf, there's a 16% increase in lower extremities injuries per play than on natural turf. So people, like, as soon as this Aaron Rodgers thing happened, they again just started being like, do something about this turf.
Yes, clearly it is not good for the players.
I had no idea about the whole turf
I didn't
theory,
either.
But I guess it's been a like long-standing thing, because they switched it in like the 80s or something. Like a long time ago, they decided to switch it from like natural to artificial. And since then, like injuries have just gone up.
That's wild. You would think, well, I guess I was going to say you would think that the real grass would be cheaper than artificial grass, but I guess you don't have to maintain it as much.
No, definitely the upkeep they don't want to deal with. And then also switching out half
Take care of your players
stuff. Yeah. Well, you would think with all the money that they make, if you have $275 million to give one player, like, you have the money to put in this grass, and
they're just choosing not to.
Yeah. So people were not happy, and that's what they were blaming his injury on. Besides Kim Kardashian.
Mix of both.
But more things with the NFL. This one's actually positive, and I figured you were so thrilled.
I'm over the moon. I thought this was fake news when I heard it. Toy Story X NFL.
Yeah, so Toy Story is basically collabing with the NFL to do a live recreation, like, while the game is playing. They're going to be reenacting the game as characters from Toy Story in Andy's house.
Yep.
Showing play-by-play, and it's going to be like live updated. So when they do a play, they're doing the play.
I don't know how they can make it that exact. I mean,
I wonder how seamless it's actually going to be.
I want to be tuned in for this because I want to see it play out, because they said that not only is it going to be like live action, they're also going to have like, you know, like interaction with the characters from Toy Story, celebrations, like fan interaction, like all of this stuff. And I'm like, how can you plan for that? I feel like the NFL is so unpredictable. Maybe not. Maybe there's a script that Toy Story got.
Maybe. And honestly, they've been really playing into that this season. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. But that is Sunday morning, October 1st at 9:30 a.m.
That's going to be cool.
Disney Plus, ESPN Plus. But you know what? I just saw this on TikTok last week.
The Nickelodeon.
The Nickelodeon thing. So apparently Nickelodeon started this in 2021, where each week they have a recap of NFL highlights, so that to try to get kids into watching football with their parents, because a lot of kids won't sit through a 3-hour
football game
with their parents. So this is kind of to get them like interested, and they add effects while they're doing the highlights. So there'll be like slime on the players. They do interviews with like characters from Nickelodeon and try to make it like interactive. And they've been doing this since 2021. So Disney's actually kind of late to the game in this.
They are.
Which is wild to think about, because I feel like when you think about Nickelodeon compared to Disney,
usually Disney is like, ahead of the curve with this kind of thing. I think it's very interesting how they're trying to expand their audience, but it's cool. I feel like I would have liked something like that when I was younger. Maybe we would have been on the NFL bandwagon earlier.
A long time ago.
Yes.
Agreed. I definitely think it's a smart thing to do. But and Nickelodeon is still doing this, by the way. They'd still do it. They
Slime Time.
Yeah, Slime Time. They re-signed in 2023. But more stuff was going on at some games this past week.
Things were wild.
Dude, I feel like the NFL's really out here like going hard this year.
Their script is intense. The storylines are wild.
Well, there was AI robots at the LA game. People were like freaking out. I think there was like 3 or 4 of them.
Yes, I freaked out when I saw this. I sent it to you immediately.
I didn't, because I had just seen a commercial
about
for the
Y
movie. Yeah, so like immediately when I saw it, I wanted to like send it to you, like, this is about the movie, and get like defensive. Because I forget. I don't know what I just saw in theaters. I just saw a movie.
Did you?
In theaters. What was it?
Scary movie? Did you see like The Nun or something?
No. I don't remember. It was a couple weeks ago. But we saw a movie. That's crazy. What did I see?
I feel like the last movie I saw in theaters was
what just
the Barbie
came out?
Movie.
No, it was after that.
Oppenheimer?
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
It was an action movie.
An action movie?
You know, Evan.
But
anyways, it was good, and I can't remember it, and that's very alarming.
That's unfortunate.
Anyways, this commercial was right before the movie, so I already saw this commercial, and it's coming out September 29th.
Oh, okay.
So as soon as I saw, I'm like, this is promotion for that movie, which is called The Creator, which is literally about what we've been warning about. In the movie, I think word for word, they say, like, AI should have never been explored, or like something along those lines. Like, we should have stopped. We should have kept it in the box. Like, we should have not gone this far. So that's what this whole movie's about. It's like a war between robots and these new AI that they invented. And the problem is, well, the main character, so they made these robots and they look like humans, which was what was at the game, but some of them are children. So they get ordered, these soldiers get ordered that you need to go kill these robots. And they're like people, and they look like people and they're kids. So the soldier's like, I'm not killing this kid. Yeah, but it's a robot, but it looks like a kid. It acts like a kid. It thinks it's a kid. So they get told, go kill this kid. You need to kill her.
And then they don't.
And he's like, I'm not killing a kid. But they're like, it's a robot, blah, blah, blah. And that's the whole premise, is this one like child AI robot that they're really after. And so, yeah, it looks actually really interesting. And I really do want to see it. But it definitely plays into everything we've talked about AI so far. And I just, hopefully this maybe is the lesson. But again, we've been saying, did we learn nothing from iRobot?
No one listens to us.
No one listens to us. So that's that. Today's episode is brought to you by Green Chef. Green Chef is a meal kit company with meal plans to fit every lifestyle. With over 80 clean eating options, you can choose from options like Calorie Smart, Delicious Discoveries, plant-based options, and new quick and easy options that are made in 25 minutes or less. That's why I love Green Chef. Don't spend your precious cider mill, football game, hayride activity time on the stress of meal planning and grocery shopping. Get everything you need to make nutritionist-approved recipes packed with clean ingredients right at home and delivered straight to your door with Green Chef. I know that's what I'll be doing this fall. Plus, if you're anything like our household going to the grocery store, you end up buying way more than you need to make your meals and end up wasting a bunch of food. But with Green Chef, you're reducing your food waste by up to 23% versus grocery shopping. So give the #1 meal kit for eating well a try and go to greenchef.com/60shady and use code 60shady to get 60% off plus free shipping. That's greenchef.com/60shady and use code 60shady to get 60% off plus free shipping. Thank you to Green Chef for sponsoring today's episode. Also, this was the most exciting thing I think that came out of the NFL. Besides the Lions winning.
The Super Bowl.
This potential Super Bowl.
This would be such a strong combination.
Miley Cyrus and Harry Styles.
It would be so cool.
It's not been confirmed yet.
But there was rumors about Rihanna prior to her Super Bowl, so I wanna hope that this is real.
It's kind of like a random mix together, I feel.
I didn't expect it at first, but the more I thought about it, I feel like they would really bring...
Oh, I'm not questioning it. Like, I think it would be an amazing show.
They'd bring all the
vibes.
But
it is kind of just like a random pairing.
Yeah. I don't think... Have they done something together before? I feel like nothing that I'm
that's
aware
why I'm like,
of.
wait, why? But I think it'll be sick.
Yeah, it would be cool.
Some more music stuff. Speaking of music, the VMAs happen.
I watched them in real time.
That's crazy.
I really feel like it was one of the best award shows that I've seen in recent years.
It's crazy because I didn't watch it and I saw nothing but positive stuff about it after the fact. And I'm like, this never happens. I think usually now the general consensus after award shows is like,
they're boring.
Nothing happened.
No, This was a really, really strong award show and it kept me entertained almost the entirety of it being on. My mom stayed up and watched it with me.
That's wild.
It was wild.
Even for you to stay up, I think is more wild than your mom staying up. So
I watched the whole thing, and I'm not a late night gal.
Well, some things I gathered just from the internet. All the nominees for Artist of the Year were all women for the first time, which is incredible. Which Taylor Swift won, didn't she?
She won 9 out of the 11 Moon Man nominees.
So she tied the record for the most VMA wins in one night. She got 9 awards, including Artist of the Year and Album of the Year. She also got Video of the Year, Song of the Year.
It was her night.
It really was.
She kept winning all of the awards, but like that didn't make it boring. You would think that if one person was continuously winning... Like, I want to say of, like, all of the VMAs that were announced, it was, like, Taylor Swift. Selena Gomez won with somebody for it, like, not for collaboration. Fuck, now I forgot it.
I know, like, Ice Spice won, Blackpink won.
Yeah, but it was Taylor's night.
It
was Taylor's night.
I don't doubt it, and I'm not surprised in any way, shape, or form. But what was surprising was that NSYNC, who has not been on stage together since the 2013 VMAs, actually gave Taylor her award
with friendship bracelets from the Little Words Project, which I was jealous of because I love their bracelets. But like once they gave those to her, everyone was like, well, what's on them? What's on the bracelets?
So what was on them?
Lover was one of them. NSYNC was one of them.
Okay.
TS was one of them. Fearless was another. And then the last one was FTGWHE, which stands for the girl who has everything, which is an NSYNC song, apparently one of their classics. Took me a minute to figure that out. But now everyone's speculating, is there some kind of collab that's coming up between the two of them? Because even Taylor on stage was asking them, like, what are you going to do? Like, something's happening. I need to know. And
I saw that clip and I was like, is she drunk? Like, is she a little tipsy here?
But here's the thing. That's what she does to everyone else. That's how all of her fans feel. Like, we know you're going to do something. Yeah. What is it? And now she's asking them. I think it's odd timing because Justin Timberlake he voices like Branch in the Trolls, and there's the new Trolls movie coming out that's like the band back together.
They're supposedly doing the soundtrack for that movie.
So that makes sense. Like, I feel like that's what it's about. Come on, Taylor, context clues.
I mean, I wouldn't have known if the internet didn't tell me, like, in the moment, like, just like with the freaking Olivia Rodrigo performance,
I knew
how
that
it was like she was paying homage to the music video. And I actually, when I first saw it, I was like, oh my God, no. And then all the comments were like,
mom
this was planned. This was planned. Even Selena Gomez's reaction when she was like, they showed her, she was scared. But speaking of Justin Timberlake too, I saw a video that went viral of him and Megan Thee Stallion backstage, and everybody thought that Megan Thee Stallion was yelling at him and that he like shushed her to be quiet or something. So then she started like yelling at him. But they squashed the rumors immediately and made a TikTok together, and it was actually hilarious. I recommend watching it because the sound of it, like the sound she used over them, like they were like in a video, they were obviously saying stuff like, oh no, we're good, whatever. But she put this like,
replaced it with
she put the sound over it, which is like an anime sound, which she is like supposedly big into anime, but everybody was like, you picked the perfect sound for this. And also it was just really funny. They squashed it right away. I just love that that's how they handled it instead of letting it spiral. Like,
yeah, just like done. Yeah, we're not like, dealing with this.
Yeah,
I feel like that's how all the artists there were, because even Selena Gomez, people were like trying to come at her for a couple things. I feel like
reactions.
Yeah, her reactions, and she like squashed it right away with something she posted to her Instagram, and I think she was replying to different posts that were like trying to make like storylines about it. She's like, "This is not real." Bye.
Dude, the only thing I was thinking when I was seeing all these videos, because they were showing like Taylor Swift, they were showing Selena Gomez reactions to like everything.
Yeah.
But it instantly reminded me when I was at the Rock Hall of Fame and how I told you that they set up the cameras like
right in front of your face.
I was just thinking, like, were they doing that to them the whole night?
Probably. Well, I saw a TikTok.
Dude, count me out. Like, if that's like, that seems not.
No. I would have not liked that. Sometimes I have a hard time with these cameras right here in front of us. I pretend like they don't exist. But somebody was saying that on YouTube, like YouTube Live, they were streaming the VMAs, but it wasn't what was happening on stage. It was just people's reactions, and it just panned to different people the entirety of the 3-hour VMAs. And somebody said it was predominantly Selena and Taylor. I would hate that. Just being streamed the whole time you're somewhere, like.
I told you how uncomfortable it was, and that was only for like a few minutes, and I literally felt like, oh my God, do I have a booger? Do I have this? Do I have that? And I can't imagine how they felt the entire time Lily being just watched, and I hope that the cameras in those scenarios weren't like right farther in their away faces, because
I don't know if that makes it better or worse though, like secretly being watched or like right up in your face.
No, not
probably
right in your
secretly.
Face. Yeah, secretly. Also at the VMAs, just ending this VMA talk here, it was the celebration of the 50th anniversary of hip hop. So Grandmaster Flash, Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, and LL Cool J closed out, along with a couple other artists, with a celebration of the 50th anniversary of hip hop.
It was hype.
Was it?
Yeah, all the performances were really good.
I need to look this up now. and Nicki Minaj hosted, which kind of leads us to our next topic here.
Mm-hmm.
So MTV's other award show that was supposed to happen in May that you watched that you said was actually like terrible.
Yeah,
it was all virtual.
Yeah, it was all virtual recaps. I don't even know if awards were handed out. And I love an award show, but I turned that off like in 5 minutes of watching it.
So that was the movie and TV awards that were supposed to happen in May, but that was right when the SAG AFTRA strike started happening. So Drew Barrymore was supposed to be the host in May of it, but she backed out, and that's why they ended up doing like the virtual stuff, and everybody kind of backed out because of the strikes. But she specifically was supposed to host, and she said that she wasn't going to move forward with it because of the strikes. But now everybody's like, wait, what? Because she decided to continue her talk show right now, even though the strikes are still happening. And the Guild actually posted a statement saying that the Drew Barrymore show is a WGA-covered struck show that is planning to return without its writers. The Guild has and will continue to picket strike shows that are in production during the strike. Any writing on the Drew Barrymore show is in violation of WGA strike rules. So
that's a big no-no.
Yeah, so everybody is very upset about it, and they're specifically dedicated. I looked up like where they're protesting and like the dates and stuff. They spent 2 days outside of her studio specifically.
Did they already start taping for the new season? Yes, they started
taping. So she put out a statement basically being like, I accept that basically I'm doing this and people aren't going to be happy. They did say that they will not be performing any writing work covered by the strike, and they won't talk about any or promote any shows, productions that are under the strike. So technically they're complying with the strike, but with the Guild putting out this statement and them dedicating two days to striking there, people are like, obviously they're not happy with it. So
yeah, I mean, I saw, it might have been a TikTok, I don't know what it was, of the other side of it, of like, okay, yeah, maybe it's not great that she's bringing the show back during this strike because of the writers and whatnot. However, they were saying that Drew Barrymore could be doing this because there's way more than just writers that work on a show, and it's their livelihood too.
Right,
and by
jobs.
stopping this, like, some people need that income to support their livelihoods and their families and what they have going on in their lives. So she's trying to look at the bigger picture. I don't know if that's true or not, or her intentions, but it could be a part that's playing into it. So it's interesting. It's very interesting.
I mean, if she's genuinely not going to use writers or like do anything that is protected under like the strike, then I think it's really like, I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I know.
It's happening. But what I also thought was interesting, so it's in New York where they film. And so two people who were like going in to watch the viewing of the show being taped, when they were walking in, the pickets were going on. And so like people gave them buttons that said like SAG AFTRA. Yeah. And so they went into the show to watch the recording, and they aren't from New York, so they didn't really know what was going on. They went in, whatever, they had the pins on, and the security came up to them and was like, you need to leave. And they were like,
why?
Wait, what? And they were like, if you're part of the strike, you need to leave, whatever. They thought they were there to like interrupt the taping.
Oh.
So they were like, oh no, we can take the pens off and stuff. We didn't know. We were just, when we were walking in, they gave us the pens.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, sorry, we don't care. You need to leave. So they made them leave. So they joined the pickets.
Did they really?
So, yeah, that's karma.
I mean,
for
why
you.
not?
Yeah. And supposedly
I'd strike too if I got kicked out of
the
somewhere.
writers from the Drew Barrymore show also joined the picket and brought a coffee cart out for the picketers. So interesting to see what will happen there. I feel like it's just going to go on. Like, the show's going on.
Yeah.
So the show must go on, as
The
they
show
say.
must go on. I'm curious if any other film, like live shows like that, will follow suit, or what will, because I feel like she could be paving the way for others to start doing this as well. So,
well, typically during these strikes, a lot of the stuff that stops production are like big movies, stuff like that, not reality-based shows.
Yeah, because there's not
talk
a
shows,
script.
because there's not an actual script. So this is actually the time when I'm pretty sure the Kardashians really got big. When they first started out was during, I believe, if I'm correct, was during the first strikes of SAG AFTRA.
Because they were one of the things on.
They were like the only thing on, and it was reality show. And so a lot of times these companies and networks will try to lean into reality TV
at this time
during these times. So this gives like opportunities for those shows to really
take off.
Yeah, take off and take advantage of that other stuff's not coming out and being produced. So it could be something along those lines too. So I guess we'll see. And also if new reality shows come out. Could be interesting. You know, we love a good reality show.
It'd be wild if they did a reality show or a documentary of the strike. I feel like that would be like pretty.
I mean, like, be interesting.
You know,
I guess I truly don't totally understand all the aspects of it, because there are certain sectors of it, I guess, that these go on strike during this time. Then these go on strike and the contracts are up at different times. So you're striking for different things at different times. So a documentary
would probably be helpful for those people like us who like aren't fully knowledgeable on the topic and want to learn more how to support. A documentary could be helpful, maybe following the strike.
I agree. Maybe they'll do it. Take our advice. We obviously know
we know so much.
But speaking of good old New York. So New York Fashion Week has been going on, and this has been a thing now, I want to say for like 4 years, but influencers taking over
as they do.
It was so much so though this year they had actually one show that was completely with influencers and celebrities. It was not a single actual model.
People are getting kind of pissed about it. I feel like a lot of people are very over it for some reason.
I feel like it's supposed to be such an honor and such like a hard-earned experience for models who do this full time to be a part of this week, and to just be replaced by people who don't know what they're doing and like don't know the craft at all. I could see why it would be offensive.
Upset.
But it was so much so that they had so many random people walking out at this show in particular where they had only celebrities and influencers. This guy just walked down the thing in a shower curtain and a shower cap.
That's incredible.
And security literally let him walk for a second because they didn't know that he wasn't part of it.
I wasn't a part of the show.
So he got down the whole runway, and then at the end they like grabbed him off and realized he wasn't a part of it. But
there was a lot of security having to be involved.
Foolery, I feel like.
The Nelk boys were there, and I'm pretty sure security didn't stop them because they didn't realize.
No, so the main guy, Kyle Forgard, walked down the runway. He had on like huge wings on too, which I don't know what runway he crashed, but he walked down and security literally thought they were part of the show, didn't say anything. And also probably because he is like a known name, they probably like,
oh yeah,
that adds to the show. It adds
that
character. Adds up. So yeah, but it was actually interesting. So speaking of wings on, Victoria's Secret came back with what everyone thought was going to be a fashion show, because
I still don't understand what it was.
It's very confusing. So since 2018, they've been gone. So they said, okay, we're coming back, all brand new. We're going to be more inclusive, this and that. So everybody's expecting basically a Victoria's Secret show, but more inclusive.
Right.
Not at all. So there was no runway at all.
I just feel like that was the first mistake.
It was just a stage. And supposedly they're just showcasing a bunch of different women and like talents. And so
it was a talent show?
Pretty much. So like basically they had Naomi Campbell come up. She like read a poem from somebody, and then I don't know. And they showcase. It was basically a couple people speaking, a couple people just like doing, I don't know, activities on the stage. And then they played a 12-minute trailer of like a feature film of just showcasing a bunch of different women's designs and like being inclusive with in that way. But then I'm pretty sure they also said that none of these items will be available to buy. So everyone's a little confused, I think.
I think they maybe don't know what's going on either. I feel like they wanted to do something to make things right and to correct their wrongs and to be better. However, I feel like they're trying to do too much at once, and they should have maybe picked like one thing to do with like the message of inclusivity and
less people, because now it's just like kind of confusing message. Like,
yeah, nobody knows what's going on. And like, I feel like I was very in tune with like the Victoria's Secret fashion shows. Like, I would go to like viewing parties at college to watch those. Like, it was always a very exciting time. So you would think with the launch of like, oh, they're back, they're better, it would have been something really exciting to see. But I'm like, I don't get what's happening, and I just don't feel like trying to figure it out.
They could have easily gotten their message across by doing what they said they were going to do, which was just being more inclusive in the original
fashion
plan.
Show.
Yeah.
And doing the fun. Like, I feel like a lot of what I loved about the fashion show back in the day was how creative it seemed, having the different themes for each section. Like, I feel like they'd do like a summer theme, and the wings would literally be made out of like pool noodles and and like crazy, or Candyland, and everything was like over the top Candyland theme. Like, that's what I feel like was really their niche that people loved, and loved like how creative it was. And if they could have done that, taken that with like the big name like singers, songwriters like performing during it, and had an inclusive group of women walking, it would have been sick.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like they tried almost too hard to get away from their original messaging.
Yeah.
But I had to bring this up because I found this while I was doing a little bit of research about Fashion Week. So I mentioned Naomi Campbell, huge supermodel.
Hell yeah.
Arguably biggest supermodel in the world. I actually almost crapped my pants when I saw.
Perfect.
She did.
A fly flew into my mouth.
Bad timing.
Sorry, Naomi.
No, I said I almost shit my pants, and then you're like, like I didn't do it just now. Like, this was earlier.
Oh yeah, it wasn't about your pants. It was just a fly.
No, because I saw that she did a collab with Pretty Little Thing.
For why?
Exactly what I wanted to know.
Why?
I was very confused. So then I look it up, and it's on their website. You can download like their PR media kit to see what this whole thing is about. And they're known for doing collabs with artists and influencers and stuff, but Naomi Campbell, supermodel,
a queen,
is just the epitome of luxury and class. And I just was a little confused. And so I look into this. And so it says, basically the reason that she did this collab was to work with these two young emerging fashion designers, Victor Anate, I don't know how to say it, I'm saying it wrong, but from Nigeria and Jamaica. The other guy's from Jamaica, Edvin Thompson, but they both live in New York City, and so they collabed with her to do this line, and she wanted to do it to showcase and promote opportunities for young emerging designers. So I was like, that's beautiful. I actually understand. No, you know, I was like, okay, I understand.
That's beautiful.
I understand why she did this.
Right.
But then I looked a little closer, and it said 2 styles were designed by them. 2. You know how many styles were on the site?
How many?
81. 81. So they designed
Who were the other
styles?
designers? Who were the other designers?
Exactly.
I need to know. We need answers.
I don't know. And then
this is important.
I'm still confused now, because I wasn't confused, then I was re-confused. And so I don't exactly understand this. But there's 81 products on the site, ranging from $6 to $220.
What I want to know, what is the $6 item?
It's like mesh gloves.
Sick. Sign me up.
But it's more like the whole collection is kind of like formal party wear.
Right up our alleys.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't.
Who
was the target market for this? I don't know. I don't know. I was just very confused about the whole thing. But what was absolutely, I think, the most mind blowing was a video of her walking the runway in one of the pieces that she designed with them.
Right.
And she was holding the side of her dress.
I feel uncomfortable.
And you know
the way
why
you
should? Because it was
pants.
uncomfortable. And we're going to insert a clip. And
I'm looking
Brittany,
up at it.
And you know what?
What?
There was this huge debacle years back because Naomi says, I've never touched my dress on a runway. And it was basically the context is she's on a show. They let one of the like coming up models, they let her go. And she said that she's not ready to be a model yet.
She touched the dress?
Because she touched her dress on the runway and was holding it up. All this stuff. And she even goes as far as saying like, look at my stuff. Like, I've never touched my dress before. And she was touching her dress. And then so everybody's like, oh my God, did they send her out there in her own collection with a wardrobe malfunction? And so I don't know what's going on with this whole thing, but look it up. I mean, it's interesting.
I'm trying to look
and
it up.
I just got deep. I deep dove into it. I was reading the comments.
She is touching her dress.
I know. So,
ooh, she's really touching her dress.
I know. But anyways, I would definitely look into this. I could see some. It's a memeable moment because of
a memeable moment. I like that. A memeable moment. We gotta put that somewhere.
Okay, we'll write that down for later.
Gotta go.
But yeah, so that was Fashion Week. But I think arguably the most exciting thing that has to do with New York right now is the potential that Gossip Girl with the original actors may be coming back.
This is what the people wanted the first time. Nobody wanted what they brought us before. That wasn't Gossip Girl. I don't know what that was. Did I ever watch it? No. So do I have room to speak? No. But I didn't want it, so I wasn't going to support it.
I did watch some of it, but it was harder to watch.
Hard to watch, right?
Yeah.
We wanted Blake Lively. Leighton Meester.
Chase Crawford, Ed Westwick, Taylor Momsen, and that was who got
Penn
posted. Penn Badgley. And that was who was posted to the official Gossip Girl Twitter account on May 16th. And it had all of them in it and said that, hinted at the fact that they were coming back.
I hope so.
And you know what I realized? So Taylor Momsen has kind of been quiet since like all of this. I feel like a lot of them have they've done so. I mean, Blake Lively hasn't been quiet.
Yeah, not her.
I actually just watched a movie on Netflix with Leighton Meester in it.
Oh, really?
Very good. Totally different character than
Love
this.
That for her.
It was actually very good. It was kind of dark, but anyways, highly recommend it. Don't know the name. Check it out though.
You got this.
But anyways, I just realized that Taylor Momsen just went on Penn Badgley's podcast.
She did.
Pod Crushed. And I wonder if that's also because the gang's getting back together.
The gang is back together.
They're ready to hang out. They want to hang out because they're about to do this reboot.
I hope they do. I tend to rewatch Gossip Girl every fall. It just feels like a fall show to me. The same way like Gilmore Girls is like a fall show for some people.
I've never watched Gilmore.
Neither have I.
That's crazy. I feel like I'm missing out.
That and like One Tree Hill. Never watched them. I watched the first episode of One Tree Hill. It's apparently basketball. Like they play basketball. I think one of them goes on to be a basketball star.
I don't think I ever watched either of them.
No, I feel like we were Gossip Girl girls, and that was that.
But that was, I think, even after the fact. I didn't watch it until way later.
I saw bits and pieces of it in real time I feel like my mom watched it in real time. But I love Gossip Girl.
Same. I'm so I just hope it's true.
If it's true, people are going to go nuts. People, like, there are a few shows that, like, really need a reboot because, I mean, we're out here doing too much of it. Like,
dude, but to imagine their characters as adults.
It would be incredible.
I'm excited about that. I hope it's
I
true.
am too. I'm here for it.
But this is kind of random.
Okay.
But I saw this today and I needed to bring it up.
Okay.
So apparently Lyft is starting to allow women and non-binary people to request drivers of the same gender as them if they would like. And I just thought I feel like this should have been a thing already, but I'm just happy that this is a thing now.
I'm happy too. I'm nervous though, because I did see some Lyft drivers saying that this is great for customers and people using Lyft. However, for the drivers themselves, it could put them in a more dangerous situation if they opt into something like this. And because with the drivers, like, you really have to verify if you're a driver, like you are a woman or non-binary. But if you're a customer using the app, you could easily get away with like saying you're a woman and then getting into a car knowing it's a woman or non-binary person driving, and not so good situation.
I also think though, like, we're so ahead with so much technology, and then it's like, why can't we come up with a better way for people using the app to also have to verify their identities?
Here's another thing. You know, we've come so far and we're in 2023, and why do women still have to be out here scared to be getting in cars and shit? Like,
yeah, I mean, that's a bigger issue that I don't know if it'll ever change, but this was a positive, I thought.
It's a step in the right direction,
I
think.
And hopefully no one misuses the situation.
I really hope not, because I hope this feature stays.
I think it'd be hard to... Either way, they could track the phone that booked it. They could do all that stuff.
And then, like, I feel like they should track the phone. And if there are cases where that's happening, the Lyft driver, and maybe this is already in place, should be able to, like, refuse the ride if they're misusing it. And then also, like, that person gets kicked off Lyft. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, in that situation, it would be better to be proactive, not reactive.
Right.
Because if someone's going out of their way to do that... Probably not for good intentions.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm sure they'll be in trouble before.
I hope so. I truly hope so. Because not that I'm in a Lyft too often alone, but I feel like even like going in a Lyft or an Uber, like typically with like a group of girls, I'm going to be more comfortable with
a woman driver.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially late at night, like coming home from a bar or something.
I always feel safer with having a woman driver. I don't know what it is. More nurturing. That's just
the life. Yeah, that's just the life. But yeah, it's supposed to roll out in the coming months. It's called Women Plus Connect. The only other downside is if a driver nearby has not opted into the service and is not available, then you just have to take like a regular one. So you're not guaranteed to get to use the service if you opt in.
Right.
It's gonna be something that gets bigger over time, but
that makes sense.
Hopefully Uber will get into this. Hopefully all of them will get into this. And it will just have some positive effects.
But here's the thing. Like, I've had some bad experiences with Lyft in general. I don't think I ever talked about this here. Remember when I got in that Lyft and the tire came off the car?
No.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I was in Florida. I had gone with one of our friends to Florida to go to Disney World.
No.
And when our flight landed late, it was like we landed at 11 o'clock or something like that. And we got a Lyft to take to my friend's house that lived there. And we were like just getting onto the highway. We'd been on the highway for like maybe a mile and a half, 2 miles. And all of a sudden, like, felt something like with the car. And then like slowly the car slowed down and we pulled to the side of the road. And there was something wrong with the tire, and we were just sitting on the side of the road, and it was a woman driver, and she was trying to like wave cars down, and then she was on the phone with somebody. Like, I don't know who she was calling, but here's the other thing that she did in the middle of that. Like, she canceled our ride, so then it was no longer tracking us as if we hadn't got into the car. So it was like all of these things were going on at once. I go, was this like an elaborate plan to like abduct us, and like somebody's gonna come meet her on the side of the road? So then we called an Uber to come get us.
On the side of the road?
Yeah, on the side of the road. And luckily, thank God, this Uber came and got us. And then the driver was like trying to get the Uber to like not take us to where we were going. And she was like, no, like leave, like, can you help me like fix the car? And he like felt bad. He was like, I'm sorry. Like I am obligated. Like I have to like take these girls to like where they need to go like safely. Like
call AAA, call a tow truck.
Right.
Call
and you would
something.
think that like Lyft or like Uber would like have, because I'm pretty sure it was Lyft that was the car we were in initially, had like they should have something in place to where if something like that happens, there's somebody they call or like a button we could press. But like at that point there was like no one we could alert. And then we wrote a whole email to Lyft about what the situation that happened. Didn't get refunded, still had to pay for the trip, like because like
that's wild.
It was one of the craziest, scariest. I don't think I ever told my mom that happened, and I'm sure she's listening. Sorry, we're okay.
You made it.
We made it, but it was scary, and it freaked me out because I never think about like something like that happening. Like when you get into like a Lyft, taxi, any kind of situation, like, oh, there could be car trouble. There was.
Well, I think you were with us, but do you remember when we got in I don't know if it was Uber or Lyft.
Yep.
But we got in one after like a night out, and
yeah, my brother was with us.
Yes, and they pulled us off to get gas. Like, why didn't you get gas before you started accepting?
I don't think they're allowed to do that.
Like, why didn't you get gas before you're accepting rides? Pulled off at a very sketchy, like random exit to get gas at a very sketchy gas station, like on the outskirts of Detroit. And we were like, what is going on here?
Yep.
And just like standing outside, also didn't have like money or something, right?
Yeah, like he was
inside.
trying. Yeah, he went inside, but then at one point I felt like he was asking my brother for like money for like
it was
gas.
A very sketchy situation. No, he didn't have a credit card. He needed cash. So it was just a very sketchy situation. And the whole time we're like, what is going on? Are they allowed to do this? And there was nothing we could do like to indicate in the app
that like
something was going on.
Wrong. So maybe we need more features, because I know you can like share your like ride like location.
Yeah, you can share, yeah.
But if something goes amiss,
but if they cancel, then you can't.
Right. I feel like there should be a button that's like there was like not that those were like being on the side of the road was kind of an emergency situation that was a little scary, but
even just pulling off though to like indicate somehow like driver did this or like driver's doing this.
Yes.
To somebody,
and you can email them and you can message them after, but like for some like real time support, I don't know. And that made like those were like two of the reasons where I'm like, I don't really like using Lyft and Uber anymore, and it's really our only option when like we're trying to get somewhere and you don't want to drive yourself. And there's some people that Lyft or Uber is their only option for transportation. They might not have their own car, and like, why isn't there more safety measures put in?
I feel like it would be so easy to do.
Yes.
But they probably don't want that liability. I don't know.
But like they gotta take accountability.
Yeah.
This went from us praising Lyft to some criticism, but hey, feedback's a gift, man.
Yeah. Well, I have some more tech fails.
Do you?
To talk about.
Let's get into it.
Pretty big ones. So MGM is currently, as we're recording this podcast as well, still under a cyber attack.
That's alarming.
Where over a dozen hotels and casinos have had to shut down operations since Sunday because they can't get, slots are down, they can't get into their rooms, they can't.
What?
Yeah. ATMs are down. Everything in the building that has to do with technology is hacked.
At all MGMs.
At all or I don't know if it's all MGMs, but it's at least 12 locations in the U.S.
Here in
Specifically,
Michigan?
I think there's like a long list of at least 8 that are just in Vegas alone.
Damn.
And so they're like undergoing huge things. And supposedly people are saying that they're being asked from these people who have it under cyber attack for ransom. And there's rumors that this happened multiple weeks ago and they paid the ransom the first time.
Just hoping it would go away, but now they're back for more.
Yes. And so nobody knows. The FBI has been made aware of the incident, but says that it's ongoing and has no answers. Computer systems at all MGM properties have been shut down for the immediate future. if you want to book a hotel room or like anything, you have to call them on the phone right now.
Yeah, because you can't book online.
Yeah,
but then how do you get into the rooms if the room keys aren't even working?
They're doing. I don't know what they're doing, but people literally couldn't get back into their rooms. But this happened in 2019 with MGM specifically. They experienced a cybersecurity issue with the personal information of 142 million guests was stolen by hackers and posted to the dark web. So this has been going on for years. But it really got me thinking, like, I feel that since everything is so technology based, and I think this has been talked about too, like, couldn't people do that to like government stuff? Couldn't people do that to very, like, obviously it sucks at this hotel, it sucks personal information. It's like, but that's not as like serious as information as like the government has, or like, like stuff like that. Like, couldn't this just happen then?
Yes, it's kind of alarming. No, I feel like the government probably has more security measures with their technology than an MGM. But at the same time, it leads me to think like, okay, the AI robots, like if somebody can just go in and take over everything at MGM because it's all cyber, it's all online, it's all internet, whatever it is, couldn't, in theory, a cyber attack happen on AI? And if you're giving these AIs a human-like body to
take it over,
physically assault, harm, harass somebody, like, we are playing with fire, people. And I mean, I guess that's why some people say when it comes to AI, like, we should be more scared of like the people behind the AI than the AI itself. But definitely playing with fire there. Like,
but it also kind of freaks me out, even just like banking information. Like, what if one day somebody hacks like all these banks in the US and takes everybody's money?
That,
I don't know, like, just stuff like that stresses me out. But anyway, so then I looked into it. And great. Supposedly, not that, but just cybersecurity facts in general. So global cybercrime costs are expected to grow by 15% per year over the next 3 years, reaching $8 trillion globally and around $10.5 trillion by 2025. And according to IBM, the average cost of a data breach, which is like what's going on with MGM, is around $4.35 million. That was in 2022, and we know inflation's crazy. So you can assume that that's probably like $6 million at least.
I mean, that's why they tell us at work, don't fall for phishing scams. And I do not. I am not. I am aware, I am alert, and I am not falling for your sketchy ass emails.
Dude, it's sketchy out there.
Yeah, stay safe, people. The internet's a dangerous place. Don't be walking on the wrong side of it.
Yeah, it's wild, and technology's getting out of control, and it just kind of makes you wish that we weren't as.
Kind of just makes you wish we were just churning butter and living our good old simple days.
Exactly. Sketchy things, people. But speaking of sketchy, let's get into this week's Shady Stories. Yay. That I'm prefacing this with that Brittany picked these out, so I have no idea what I'm about to read. Let's get into it.
Yay.
Shady Story number 1. I went on a date with a doctor I worked with in Miami. I'm a travel nurse. After a nice dinner, he told me he wanted to take me to a private club he was a member of. I thought, sweet. We pulled up to the club, and it was top secret. So when we walked in, it was beautiful velvet, plush couches, etc. Then they opened a secret door, and I realized it wasn't a regular club. It was a swinger club. My jaw dropped to the floor. Naked people everywhere. Open door is an open invitation. Cracked door means you can watch but can't join. And shut door means do not disturb. I started to freak out and ducked into the bathroom. The lady working the bathroom insisted I change into a towel to go to the bathroom, as single ladies are known as towel sharks and have to walk around in a towel. I tried to explain to her I wasn't supposed to be here, but she didn't believe me, as you need a membership to be there. Needless to say, I sent a 911 to my friends and dipped out of there so quick. Mind you, I still had to finish out my contract with this doctor who was nothing but a dick to me after I had left him at this VIP club. I still can't believe he thought that I would be interested in this as a first date. I mean, this is an amazing story.
That's tough.
I am just so confused. Like, was there no indication? What
vibes were you giving this man? Like, what vibes was he receiving?
What was going on?
To think that this was an okay thing. Like,
well, you know what I'm still not over, and I don't even know if this is true, which how would I know if this is true? I'm glad I don't know if this is true, but like the pineapple upside down thing is supposedly like an indication of swingers. Gosh. Like, was he giving you pineapple?
And then you were just down? Like, thank you. And like accepting it because like you didn't know. Because like some people don't know that. Like if you're not into this kind of thing, stay far away from pineapple.
Upside down.
And I feel like there was a time when like, I feel like the world is weird where like we go through like mustaches are cool. And then like people get really into like, remember that when people were like mustaches were like on everything?
No.
You don't remember that? Somebody in the comments will remember like the time mustaches were cool. But like there was also a time where like I feel like pineapple was like on like notebooks and a bunch of decor and like just don't buy into that trend.
Dude, but honestly, why is that even a thing? Like
a VIP membership for something like that?
A pineapple representing swingers. Like, what does that have to do? And why is that the secret message to let people know that you're into that? Because I feel like innocent people who just like pineapples are being victimized.
Poor girl, she got victimized probably because she didn't understand the symbolism behind a pineapple.
I also just think it's wild that not only was this like a first date, but this is somebody that you work with. And this was their bright idea. That's up to you. But and this was their bright idea of like what you guys should do together outside of work on a first date.
Some people do not know their boundaries.
Also crazy to know. I wonder how long this person was in this club because they learn the rules real quick. Cracked door means this. Closed door means this.
Yeah,
open door means this.
How did she get all of this absorbed? I mean, I feel like
maybe he was like telling her as they were walking through.
Yeah, I feel like she was like, probably in shock though.
But did he like get naked immediately? Like, what?
God, I hope not.
Oh my God.
God, I hope not for her sake because I could throw up thinking.
But then like also the bathroom lady being like, no, you need to be here. Put a towel on.
Is there no safe human there?
It's a free for all. You're there.
I think that's
it.
That's
crazy.
I'm so sorry that happened to you.
I really like this story though. I did not expect this.
Yeah, it was kind of wild.
I was shocked.
Yeah, you were shocked. I thought like initially when I was reading like strip club maybe, but
same. That was what I first thought.
Yeah, like the couch vibe. Like I was like, oh, velvet that's couches. Where you're going. Like you're going to a strip club. No.
Not that velvet couches mean anything.
I kind of thought about that. I was like, maybe we should swap out the set.
Oh God. Yeah, I give this like 10 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Okay, shady story number 2. Back in the summer between freshman and sophomore year, I was dating this guy. Just for the summer we dated, he was my best friend's boyfriend's brother. And he had a cute, fun summer romance, and I thought we would be a very good, happy terms when it came to a young relationship. And we dated for about 3 months. He lived in another town because he lived with his mom, while my friend's man lived with the dad. Then one day, out of the blue, he never spoke to me again. I mean, I like legit never heard another word from him after just a normal day of talking and hanging out. He just stopped. I would have thought that he was dead, and obviously was calling and texting him like a crazy person for the next few days until I got the hint. He broke up with me in the most cowardly way possible. So flash forward to 6 years later. We follow each other on Facebook, and I saw and heard he was in prison for shooting at cops in the middle of a car chase. Like, what the fuck? He was on drugs, obviously. He's out of prison now, and we never talked much again, except his comments on my photos or Facebook birthday posts. But let's just say I didn't miss out on a damn thing when we stopped talking. It was definitely for the best, and karma's a bitch. Okay, I have some questions for you. You say, but we never talked much again. And like, I know she's saying about like these comments on the post, but like, are you talking to this man still? I hope not.
No, I think she just means like, I don't know. Like, do you know how, I feel like this happens to people we know, but like random like people from high school that you're like friends with on Facebook still, like you'll just randomly see them commenting on people's stuff and you're like, what?
Yeah.
There's no way you guys talk.
Yeah.
And I think it's just one of those, like Facebook's a wild place. Like when I see people post like actual status updates on Facebook now, I'm like, are you okay?
Yeah, unless it's
well?
like a legitimate like mother or family, like that's different. Cute. That's
but I mean,
sweet.
like how we used to post like hanging with my friends, blah blah blah. Like if you're still doing that, like I'm like, are you good?
People
you okay?
Of our age, I feel you're one way or you're not. Like either you're not posting on Facebook at all or just uploading like photos, or you use Facebook as your fucking diary. And
that's what I see. And maybe that's what this guy was.
Did we learn nothing from like my secret like journal back in the days? The little like voice to talk, like this is my like handheld journal. And then you could just put all of your little thoughts and feelings in there. Why don't we do that today? You don't remember that?
Dude, my memory today, like I'm actually concerned.
The journal where it's voice command password.
That lock
password journal.
Yes.
Go back to that, man.
Can we
go do that?
Bring that back? I just kind of want one.
I mean, some people should, because some people are out here telling their deepest, darkest secrets to Facebook. And don't get me wrong, it's entertaining. However,
we do get into it.
I know. So maybe I shouldn't wish it away because it does bring me some happiness. However, do yourself a favor. Don't make your life other people's entertainment. Even though that's what we do here on the podcast.
That's literally our whole thing.
Different.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it sounds like she got away from a bad
man.
I would maybe recommend blocking them on Facebook.
Yeah. That's an option too.
But
you don't have to interact with people you don't want to interact with. Just don't give them the time of day. Block them. Don't read their messages. That's all you gotta do.
Oh, okay. I would say this is like 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd say 6.
Okay. Shady story number 3. I was on contract in Miami. The first night I was there, I decided to go to Hard Rock Casino. I ended up hitting it off with this guy at the bar. He was with a group of friends and I was by myself, and he asked for my name. I got nervous and I gave him my alias name, Harper. We exchanged numbers and I thought that would be the end of it. But he continued to text me and even asked for my social media. But I lied and said I didn't have any because I was too embarrassed to tell him that I thought he might have been a creep, so I didn't tell him my real name. Fast forward, I ended up ghosting him with no explanation. Bad, I know, and I thought I would never see him again. However, I forgot to mention that he's a firefighter and I'm an emergency department nurse. So he brought a patient into my department one night and we made eye contact. I panicked and ran into that clean supply room to hide. Turns out this guy is good friends of my charge nurse, and he asked her, why is Harper avoiding me? To which she responded, who the hell is Harper? I'm not sure what was worse, having him realize I was a big fat liar or having to explain to my superior why I gave him a fake name.
This is a 10 out of 10 for me because I feel like this is something that like one of us or like one of our friends would encounter in real life.
Dude, first of all, what's going on in Miami?
Oh, it's the same person.
Is it?
They wrote 2 stories.
Okay.
I'm like, these are too good not to share them
That
both.
was my next question.
Yeah,
was,
like what's in the
same
water
person?
there?
Like they're all nurses and they're all like
traveling to Miami.
encountering
Yeah,
wild
I was
people.
like, what goes on down there?
Seems entertaining. There's sharks on cocaine down there too.
Oh
right?
my gosh,
There's a lot going on.
It's nuts.
There's a lot going on down there. But yeah, that's hilarious. What a way to find out someone gave you a fake name.
Yeah, like who the hell's Harper? Like the girl that just ran to the supply closet and is hiding from me.
Yeah, well, too bad for that guy.
Yeah.
I think that's funny.
Yeah,
Do you have any
funny.
aliases? I feel like I can't give mine out, but in person I've done this a few times. I've said my name's Ashley.
Have you?
Yeah, just out of panic, pure panic.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just in case, like if someone's about to put 2 and 2 together, just throw them off.
Yeah, yes, there's a curveball. Can't be
Can't
her.
Her
name's Ashley. No,
Oh.
it's Ashley. It's the girl that's like the Taylor Swift impersonator, and it's like, oh no, I'm not Taylor. I'm just
I'm
Ashley.
Ashley.
Yeah.
That's me.
I don't think I have aliases. I feel like if like guys that I thought were creepy tried to approach me back in the day, I would just run away or like not speak to them, like ignore them blatantly. I wasn't a fan of talking to strangers or like.
That's good.
Yeah, no, I was not into it, not about it. Didn't care to talk to them.
It kind of reminds me. So last week for bonus content, we like went through TikToks that we thought were hilarious and reacted, whatever. If
it was
you're
fun.
not a part of the Patreon, you should go join because it was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But
you think we're unhinged here?
Oh yeah,
we're way more.
We were talking
unhinged.
on the way to the studio today. Like some of the comments were like, "You guys are becoming more and more unhinged," and I was like, "They don't know the half of it."
No.
But anyways, there was a video, a TikTok of the kid. Someone like tried to come up to him and talk to him. He literally just physically put his hand up.
That was me as a human for a long time. Honestly, same.
But I think this one's like a 7 out of 10.
Oh, I said 10 out of 10.
I think it's funny, but it's not like too shady. Like
yeah, it's not.
This is what people have to do. You gotta give a fake name sometimes.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
But that concludes this week's episode, and we will either see you in the Patreon bonus content, or we will see you in the next one.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.